It is a championship for the Bedford Bulldogs, 3 in a row.
Johnson serves it in. Great header there, and it's a goal.
Brian O'Brien shot, Bedford goal.
Sees it about the 18, sends it up and over and in. Big shot, Grace Crowder. Will kick, snaps back, kick is up. It looks good. It is good.
It's good.
It is good.
It's good.
You're watching Bedford Community Television live broadcast of Bedford High School field hockey. Today's game is the Bedford Bulldogs taking on the Warriors of Winnacunnet. I'm Pete MacDonald with Scott O'Donnell, your play-by-play host. Scott, no way this won't be an exciting game, an aggressive and challenging game for both teams.
Certainly, Pete. This team from Winnacunnet has a lot of very skilled players, a lot of girls that play over in the Seacoast club team. So you've got girls that play field hockey all year round and well coached, very strong goalie in Amber Mergado. It should be a good one as we get underway here. Ball works its way through the middle at about the 30. Maddie Kiley drives it ahead, crosses over to the 15, drives towards the net. A chance on goal, they're going to call dangerous stick on that. Ball's going to come back the other way for Winnacunnet. Winnacunnet goes a clear, nice strike right up the middle of the field. That's going to make it all the way down to the Bedford 10. But Anna Ray is there, slides the ball right side of the field, up to Mia Catane. Mia Catane clears up, and ball back in. Fiona McAfee, freshman for Winnacunnet, also a Seacoast United player, tries to make a move at the 10, and Brooke Poirier is there. Well defended. Boy, the last couple games, Pete, several players have just played completely outstanding, and Brooke Poirier has to be mentioned in that lineup.
Oh, her play on defense has just been outstanding, no question.
Okay, ball up to the 45. Maddie Kiley slides it over to Elise Montagano. Montagano slides it up the middle to Sydney Davidson. Davidson off to the left. Tries to get up to Lydia Denon. Denon tries to move into the circle, but defended nicely by Winnacunnet. Ball's going to come back out. Eloise Montagano there, over to Amelia McDonald. McDonald into the shooter's circle. Tries a shot, just misses. They're going to call a dangerous stick on that. Winnacunnet ball coming back out. Big drive from Winnacunnet defender. Knocked down again by Eloise Montagano. Over to Kiley. Kiley tries to get it to McDonald. Intercepted. That's by number 19, Amelia McAfee, another Seacoast player. 19 is a captain for Winnacunnet. Very good defender, senior year. She can strike the ball really well, Pete. Free hit for Bedford. Montagano up across the 50, slides it over to Lydia Denon. Lydia Denon tries to feed McDonald. Knocked down again by the Winnacunnet defender. Grace Wolf up the left side, controls, back to Montagano. Montagano smartly back to Anna Ray. They try to work up the left sideline, but Winnacunnet's there with stingy defense again and gets a call. It's going to be a free ball for Winnacunnet. McAfee with the free drive. Rips one right up the middle of the field. Heads down left side, out at about the 10-yard line. Boy, Pete, that's going to be a problem this game. If she can connect on one of those with a long one, that really will open up the field and create a great scoring opportunity.
We've already seen a few long balls from Winnacunnet, and it definitely opens the field up.
Catan for Bedford. Brings the ball in. Over to Montagano. Montagano tries to advance the ball, and unfortunate bounce off the foot of Denon. It's going to be a Winnacunnet ball. McAfee for Winnacunnet. Lines back up again. Rips another one right at the net. Poirier knocks it down. And as she tries to get a handle on it, that ball came in so hot, it bounced up and hit her in the leg. That's going to be a foot call. And Winnacunnet is going to get a corner off of that. Okay, only a few minutes into the game. Bedford defenders getting set. Referee gives a go-ahead. Ball inbounded. Out to McAfee again. Slides it back over. And a big rip by Jennifer Frost. But they're going to call a dangerous ball. So back the other way for Bedford. Working that left far sideline. Lydia Denon giving pursuit. McDonald knocks it nicely out of midair. Winnacunnet back the other way. And there's Grace Wolf. Knocks it down again, puts it down the left sideline. Tries to move it up to Davidson. Davidson tries to advance, but they're going to call the ball for a free hit for Winnacunnet. Dangerous ball on Winnacunnet's inbound. Grace Wolf's going to walk it up to almost the 25. She's going to survey the field. She goes across to Montagano. Montagano tries to go with a give and go. Read nicely by the Winnacunnet player, and up the right side of the field she comes. Poirier's there. Slows down the defender. But they're going to call third party on that. You can't have two players play the same player at the same time. Nice play by Catan. Slides it back up. McDonald with a nice touch pass. Kylie comes up the right, over the 30, trying to hook around the 20, tries to cut back, over to Denon. Denon tries to advance the ball into the center of the field. She loses it, battling to get it back, and they're going to give a free hit to McAfee for Winnacunnet. McAfee rips it up to her sister, Fiona McAfee. The ball bounces down, collected by Brick Poirier. Trying to play the control game right now. Catan tries to advance the ball. Winnacunnet's there, slides it up. Fiona McAfee with a touch pass. Beautiful defensive play by Anna Ray from Bedford. She slides it up the left side of the field and out of bounds. Really well read there, Pete. She stepped right up, stopped the pass from advancing. Probably stopped a pretty good scoring opportunity. Ball gets inbound by Winnacunnet. McAfee tries to come up the right side. Tries to advance the ball. Gets a foot call again. McAfee rips another one right up the middle. Bouncing ball. Advancing up to the 30. Denon steps up. Stops the play. And the referee makes a call on the field. I think we get a referee's timeout.
I think it's a weather call. They just heard a clap of thunder here, so the skies are getting a little dark. Storms are circling, so I think they're going to convene on the rule when you hear thunder. I know lightning, it stops everything, but just smart move. We're up on a hilltop here. Dark clouds coming, but man, this game has gone fast. I mean, these kids are running.
Yeah, they're
Winnacunnet
certainly
has done everything you'd expect them to do. Winnacunnet, if there is a dynasty in Division I field hockey, it's got to be Winnacunnet. With the last 13 years, they've appeared in the finals 8 times, and they've walked away with the trophy 5 of those 13 times. It's
incredible.
Incredible field hockey legacy in Winnacunnet.
Well, they've got that feeder program through the Seacoast club team, so I know a lot of the kids over there. It's very convenient for them. It's right down the street from the high school, so a lot of field hockey all year round for these kids, and you can see it on the field, the way they strike the ball, the way they lead passes. They certainly are a skilled set. So it sounds like we're going to have a weather delay here, folks.
30-minute delay for the game due to thunder to let this little storm front pass, and we'll get back to action. Hopefully it'll be dry and clear. So we'll pause the broadcast while we take a pause in action, and you're watching BCTV live coverage of Bedford High School field hockey. The Bedford Bulldogs taking on the Warriors of Winnacunnet. We'll be back in a few. Thank you. Good afternoon. You are watching Bedford Community Television live streaming of Division I field hockey. The Bedford Bulldogs taking on the Warriors of Winnacunnet. This is a restart to a game that began about a week ago. I'm Pete MacDonald, along with your play-by-play host, Scott O'Donnell. Scott, we're back Saturday afternoon. Continue this game that started out like a bang and went out like a bang with thunder and lightning.
It certainly did. It was unfortunate. It was a great game. It got started. Weather interfered with the rest of the game, and in the few minutes that we got to see both these teams go, they look very even. Winnacunnet High School has a lot of strong players out there. To mention senior Emily Parrish, number 2, out at forward, leading scorer Hayden Adams, number 14, and a couple of really key players. A lot of these girls, again, play a lot of club field hockey. So these kids play all year round, are very skilled. That's 16 Jennifer Frost at forward. She's a senior captain, along with Amelia McAfee, who plays midfield, number 19, also a senior captain. And Amelia McAfee, as we saw, Pete, in the first game, can really rip the ball when she gets a free hit, can't she?
That was the story for that first 7 minutes before we got delayed with weather. No question. So I'm sure we'll see more of this. Bedford, both teams actually coming off tough losses this week to Exeter with Bedford, and last afternoon Pinkerton beat Winnacunnet. So I got to believe both teams are hungry today.
Certainly are, and we're getting ready to start play. Tegan O'Donnell inserts off the 40 up to Lydia Denon. Lydia Denon tries to move up the left side of the field. Winnacunnet players there, slows the play down, but that's going to be a free hit off of Bedford Grace Wolf's stick out of bounds. So Winnacunnet comes up the field, crosses the 40, slides the ball up. Frost gives chase. Referee makes a call on the field. Trying to sort things out with the coaches there. Keep an eye on that Jennifer Frost at forward for Winnacunnet. She is certainly a speedster. Very, very offensive-minded. Another very good player, senior captain as well. And the ball is going to come back out to the Bedford 40. They're going to reset here as O'Donnell covers down on the ball. Referee whistle. O'Donnell with a big lift about 25 yards up the field over to Lydia Denon. Lydia Denon tries to knock it down in advance, but they're going to call a free hit Bedford's way. O'Donnell slides back over to Denon. Denon tries to work to the 15. Winnacunnet knocks it down, and they're going to get the benefit of the call. McAfee gets ready to set up at the 15 with a free hit for Winnacunnet. Drives the ball hard up the field. Nicely tapped off the stick of Frost over to McAfee, the forward sister. Fiona McAfee tries to advance up to the 50, but Eloise Montagano is there for the Bedford Bulldogs and controls nicely down the right side up to Natalie Denon. Natalie Denon tries to advance. Winnacunnet defenders gather. McAfee takes it back. Another big drive and up the field. And Winnacunnet gives chase up across the 30, across the 20. Pops the ball up, in on Cy for Bedford Bulldogs, and a nice kick save by the goalie. Clears it all the way out to the 25. Grace Wolf and Elise Montagano give Frost some pressure, but she slides it over to her teammate. Intercepted by Denon. Denon up to about the 50. McDonald surveys the field, moving quickly up across the 40. Pops it up to Ella Putney. Sophomore Ella Putney tries to advance, but McAfee is there to knock it down. Julie Allen on defense for Winnacunnet made that play. So free hit for Bedford on the inbound, over to Montagano. Montagano just doesn't get all of it, and McAfee clears. Ball comes up to Frost. O'Donnell steps forward, intercepts, and advances the ball back up into the offensive zone. Putney gives chase, just can't get there in time, and that ball is out of bounds. Off a Tegan O'Donnell strike, so it'll be a Winnacunnet ball at the 16. McAfee gives set, takes a look, pulls a big rip up the field to the 40, right on the stick of number 2, Emerson Parrish. Parrish gets up about to the 50, tries to weave her way between the players, and Denon and Catan are able to win the ball back for Bedford. McAfee with a free hit. Ball bumps up over the top of Catane's stick. She then recovers, is able to get in front of that Winnacunnet player. Nice defensive play, working hard on that sideline. Denon tries to clear it as well, and it goes off a Winnacunnet stick. It's going to be a Bedford free hit on the inbound. Catane to Eloise Montagano. Montagano just misses it back and gets it. Winnacunnet advances up to McAfee. McAfee has Frost. She carries a beautiful play by Brooke Poirier, knocking that ball out of midair. Nice defensive play. Denon tries to one-touch, advance it, and gets a foot call off of McAfee's foot. So this is going to be a Bedford free hit. Denon back to Poirier. Poirier just mishandles and out of bounds. It's going to be a Winnacunnet free hit. McAfee comes up again. McAfee gives a big rip, slides up to her sister Fiona McAfee, but just can't handle. Frost gives chase for Winnacunnet. Brooke Poirier tries to move around, but Frost gets it back. Frost tries to work the far side of the field. Ball pops up. It's going to be a free hit for Bedford. O'Donnell clears it. A good 30 yards up the field. Advances it to Davidson. Davidson tries to make the play, gets a foot call. So O'Donnell's going to slide back up. It's going to be the Bedford Bulldogs with a free hit at about the 35. Well, they're making it at the 45, excuse me. Well, the referee reset. So 35. O'Donnell tries to lift it, doesn't get all of it, but McDonald's there to recover. McDonald with an outside-in move, comes right up the gut of the field, advances towards the goal. Goalie with a kick save. Ella Putney tries to weave around to get the ball off and actually gets a foot call. And with that nice move is going to end up getting Bedford awarded with a corner.
A nice series of plays in the first few minutes of this game. Bedford had 7 corners, offensive corners, last Thursday night against Exeter. They weren't able to convert any into points. Let's see what they can do today.
Yeah, I'm sure the coaches worked on it, Pete, and talked about it. And Amelia McDonald on the inbound, straight out to O'Donnell. O'Donnell, top of the circle, rips one left side. It gets deflected. McDonald tries to redirect that into the back of the goal, but it just goes wide to the left. That was a nice play.
Well set up, and with any corner, you got to be quick. So that was nice, a quick execution, and just wide.
Yeah, just didn't let the defenders get out there in time so we get a shot off, that's for sure. McAfee, big drive up the field, slides it all the way up to the 40, almost back to midfield. O'Donnell smartly back to Brooke Poirier. Poirier comes near side, over to Catane. Catane up to Denon, nicely passing. Try to get it up to Putney, but just too far out of her reach. Montagano's there, trying to knock it down, and Bedford's going to get a free hit. Denon's going to take it, slides it over to Montagano. Montagano tries to go quick to McDonald, and just out of her reach. McAfee for Winnacunnet. Another big drive up midfield. Catane gathers it, tries to work sideline, moving to the near field, and she's going to draw the call her way. It's well done by Catane. And P, we saw last Thursday, Catane really made some unbelievable defensive plays coming out of nowhere across the field to save some really opportunistic offensive chances for the Exeter team, and she was there kind of to save the day and keep the Bulldogs in it.
Yeah, I was telling my daughter after the game, I think her new name needs to be the Ghost, because she was just appearing out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. McAfee tries to insert. O'Donnell swiftly knocks it out of bounds up across the 30. It's going to be a Winnacunnet ball, but she kept that out of the offensive shooting circle. Winnacunnet tries to get the ball up, far side of the field. Battling for to the 40. Nice spin move by Lydia Denon for Bedford. Knocks it down again at the 50. Tries to advance it. Trying to hurry up the field. She had a breaking Davidson, but we're going to get a foot call against Bedford. McAfee, another big rep. Boy, can she hit the ball. Denon gathers it for Bedford. Tries to slide to Catane, but Fiona McAfee gets there. Giving chase, tries to make a nice play to insert the ball back in the middle of the field, but just out of her reach of her teammate. Ella Putney tries to give and go with McDonald. McDonald gets it, slides it back up, gets it into the shooter circle, just to the top but Winnacunnet's able to clear. Denon back in, takes a drive into the shooter circle. Davidson there. Daverson scrambles out in front of the net. McDonald pulls in, gets a shot off, and they're going to get a corner. Bedford earned a corner there. Great offensive opportunity. Nice pursuit after the rebounds there.
Terrific series of passes, too. That was the other takeaway from last game was the passes had good intent, but they just weren't being executed as well. And we're seeing a different passing today, which is great. And here's another
End
corner.
of the quarter. We're going to get the corner off. McStowe goes aggressive. All Bedford players up on the shooting circle. O'Donnell to McDonald. Bounce over Steck. Denon back to McDonald. McDonald from the top of the circle gets a shot off. And they're going to call it. That's the end of the quarter. I think once that ball popped over McDonald's stick, Pete, that the referee calls the play dead because it's beyond the attempt in the shooting circle.
Well, good first quarter. You know, they came out strong. Both teams did, but Bedford, they've got a little edge to them. You can just tell.
Yeah, I think they're probably flying high after the game on Thursday against two-time defending champs Exeter. I think they built some confidence there off of that game.
Well, Scott, you and I, it was said numerous times, particularly in that third quarter, we had to stop and catch our breaths. We're trying to call the game, and there was just so much going on. It was really, I keep saying this, a championship-level caliber play. The ball bounced a couple times, obviously, in Exeter's favor, and they took the win, but nothing to be ashamed about for the Bulldogs.
Absolutely. Completely agree with you, Pete. And, hats off to both teams. They were just unbelievable on every aspect of the ball, from the goaltending, defense, all the way up the field. Really sharp passing, some pretty amazing stick work and control of the ball by these players. Really just an absolute display of skill out there on Thursday night. Very impressive. Didn't want the game to end, quite frankly. And, Bedford held Exeter 0-0 all the way through the first half. It was really back and forth. I think the shots on net were probably even. Some incredible goaltending on both sides. Again, nice kick saves, getting across the crease to, save the ball at the last second. Then we got into the third quarter, and again, they were very even. Exeter drew first blood, and then Bedford came roaring right back. I don't even think a minute had passed.
I don't think it hit a minute. It was that quick.
It was like they answered, and just letting Exeter know they weren't going away, and they certainly weren't showing any intimidation out there at Exeter's field. And to get into the fourth quarter, and again, it was really a battle right up until the last probably 8 minutes of the game. And Exeter popped 2 quick goals, unfortunately. But then the last 5 minutes, Bedford just kept coming in waves. And Exeter's defense just held tight and was able to keep the ball out of their net, to end up with a 3-1 victory, which really that game was a 2-1 type victory. Great play. Both teams. Really nice to watch. And the level of talent, they have 2 girls already committed out there at Exeter to go play college field hockey, one to St. Lawrence and one to Connecticut College, 2 twin sisters, the Garens, very skilled field hockey players. But Exeter is certainly right at the top of the heap in the state of New Hampshire when it comes to girls field hockey for a potential repeat. Play back underway here, the second quarter. Putney tries to move it up across the 35 for Bedford. Winnacunnet defender is there, knocks it down. Back to Putney, though. Putney tries to go far right, wrapping around the defender, stops, takes a look, nicely passed back and controlled to Denon. Denon up to Montagano. Montagano tries to advance it in the shooter circle. Unfortunately, nobody's there, and it goes wide right of the net. It's going to be a free hit for the Winnacunnet Warriors. McAfee with another big rip. Ball bounces right up the field to the 50. Brooke Poirier is there, tries to advance the ball, but just missteps, runs right over the top of it. Ball comes back out to the far side to the 50. Little miscommunication, looks like, between the 2 Bedford players, but Montagano gathers it smartly. Goes back to Catane. Catane tries to bring it near side along the sideline. Nice rip by Catane up the field. And Denon just can't handle it, just out of her reach. Nice play by Catane as the Winnacunnet offensive players were really giving her pursuit. McAfee, number 19, senior captain for Winnacunnet from the 40. Nicely passed down the near sideline, but out of bounds off of her teammate's stick, and Catane's going to have the free hit for Bedford. Catane tries to lift it, gets it up about 10 yards. Beautiful play by McDonald trying to advance the ball and poke it free. And back down the sideline, out of bounds. Going to be a Bedford Bulldog free hit insert here off the sideline. Denon passes it to Montagano in traffic. Montagano, beautiful stick handling, tries to weave through the group, but senior defender McAfee is there, midfielder. But Poirier steps up. Poirier to McDonald. Bedford has an opportunity here. 4-on-4 in the offensive zone. Putney gives chase, and off the stick of a Winnacunnet defender, going to free hit on the insert for Bedford. Number 22, senior captain Denon for the Bulldogs, surveys the field, enters it in, looks to Montagano. Montagano with a quick move at the 20, trying to get it up to McDonald, but McAfee's there. They battle for the ball, back and forth. McDonald, beautiful stick, knocks down the pass by the Winnacunnet defender to get the ball back. Montagano tries to advance in the shooter circle, does, right out to the goal mouth, but Winnacunnet defense steps up and clears the ball. That was number 3, Maisie Snell. Ball comes back up to the 50. Fiona McAfee for Winnacunnet. Nice outside in move. Slides the ball up the field to her teammate, but O'Donnell is there for Bedford. Slows it down, and they're going to give it a foot call. It's going to be a free hit for Winnacunnet, but enough time for the Bedford players to get back on defense. McAfee shoots one upfield. Looks like it hit another foot, so it's going to be a Bedford free hit. Ball's going to come back out to around the 20, 25. O'Donnell has it. Sophomore. Slides it all the way, trying to switch fields to Catane. Catane, nice move on the ball. Slides it back up near field over to Denon. Denon slides it up to Putney. Putney tries to gather it. 2 defenders there, but Montagano intercepts, and nice pass up the field to Davidson. Davidson at the 20. Davidson smartly into the shooter circle, but again, Winnacunnet defense is there and clears it. Fiona McAfee at the 50. Tries to advance. O'Donnell steps up with stick tackle, slows the play down for Bedford. And they're going to call, I think, a third party on that, or an interference, not quite sure. But Bedford's going to get a free hit coming back out again. So Denon tries to rip it, just mishits. Ball pops up. Montagano can't gather it. Fiona McAfee, stolen by Catane. Catane nicely up the far side of the field to Lydia Denon. Lydia Denon tries to move it. The Winnacunnet player's there. Catane again steps up, tries to advance the ball, gets it up to the 50. McDonald gathers it for Bedford, across the 40. Beautiful ball by McDonald. Putney tries to gather it and going to get a benefit of the call. Montagano smartly, quickly over to McDonald. McDonald quickly in the shooter circle, tries the one-time shot, but doesn't get the stick on the ball. And ball's going to go out of bounds. It was a nice play by Montagano and McDonald for a scoring opportunity. Putney just couldn't spin in time to get a good portion of the stick on that ball to redirect it, but an offensive chance by Bedford. O'Donnell from the 25 with a free hit. Quickly tries to change fields, does. Gets it onto Denon's stick. Denon tries to advance top of the circle. McDonald's there, but Winnacunnet's there, and Frost starts to pull away. Montagano gives chase. They're going to give her an interference call for contact against Frost. McAfee, big drill up the field for Winnacunnet. That's going to make it all the way down to the 20 and the 15 and out of bounds. It's going to be a Bedford ball. Boy, can she rip that ball.
She has to be practicing at the driving range because she can really send that ball downtown. There's no question.
Yeah, and we saw this last week too, with the little bit of the game that we saw. You hope that Bedford's ready to defend it because she really stretches the field with those hits. A couple of offensive players get up the field and she sends them, and it's going to be a foot race. So hopefully the Bedford Bulldogs are prepared to defend for that. McAfee from the 50. There it is. Rips it right up to the offensive player. Into the shooting circle. Takes a shot. Far wide right. That's exactly what I'm talking about, Pete, right there.
That's how she sets up the plays. That ball gets so far downfield.
It's very hard to defend when your defenders step up to try and knock it down. If there's, any heat on that ball with the velocity and it's bouncing, it's a real art to have the hand-eye coordination and knock that ball out of the air and trap it in a manner in which you have control. So it's great if the offensive players are in full stride and they can hit them. They're going to end up with breakaways that way. Free hit, Winnacunnet. McAfee again from the 40. This time she carries up the right far side of the field, gets across the 20, tries to cross it, and going to get a dangerous ball there because it hit a Bedford player. Lydia Denon gives chase, trying to work it up the far side of the field, but out of bounds. McAfee, free hit for Winnacunnet, rips another one, sends that ball about 25. Tegan O'Donnell is there, defender for Bedford, able to try and get it out, but turned right back around by Winnacunnet. Nice play by Irene Sy, the Bedford goalie, clearing that ball, that breakout kick. Up comes Ella Putney of the 40, trying to turn the defender, gets up to the 30, hesitates at the 25, tries a spin move, nothing there, goes back to Denon. Denon back to McDonald. McDonald in traffic, tries to come back to the sideline, gets across the 25 to the 20, tries to advance it back into the circle, goes off a Winnacunnet foot. It's going to be a free hit for Bedford. Montagano will take it. Montagano back to Denon. Denon tries to insert, and Winnacunnet D is there. Clears it. Frost, stick handles. Poirier intercepts for Bedford. Poirier up to Denon. Denon to Montagano. Montagano tries to connect with McDonald, but just out of the reach of McDonald's stick. And Winnacunnet, Julie Allen, defensive player, is able to clear it for the Warriors and slow this play down. A lot of offense from the Bedford Bulldogs and a great scoring opportunity for Winnacunnet. But I would say, Pete, at this point in time, Bedford seems to be carrying the play. Going to be a free hit, Winnacunnet. McAfee carries, gets up to the 30, the 40. And Bedford's going to earn a foot call there, going their way to Montagano. Montagano at the 40, tries to weave through the defenders, lays the ball out nicely for Denon if she can get there. Putney comes back to gather it, tries to advance it. Winnacunnet clears. Montagano gets it back in, tries to get it to McDonald. McDonald to O'Donnell. O'Donnell, far side of the field to Grace Wolf. Grace Wolf with a quick one-time pass into the shooter's circle. Montagano with a shot on net. Save. Putney again across the crease. Scramble in front. Referee whistle. They're going to call a Bedford foot on that. They're going to call, they're going to call that a Bedford free hit for an infraction on Winnacunnet, but not a corner. O'Donnell from the 25, slides it over to Montagano, into McDonald. McDonald in the shooter circle, tries to go backhand, scramble in front of the net. And ball cleared by Winnacunnet. Denon tries to get it back in, just misses Montagano. O'Donnell with a quick stick. Montagano in. Davidson with a shot on net, saved by the Winnacunnet goalie, and we're going to get a corner out of that.
Just a lot of Bulldog pressure, I'll tell you. That it's they're on fire right now. They've had a lot of opportunities. One of them's going to give.
Yeah, they just keep coming. They keep coming.
Yep,
Let's see what Coach McStowe has in store for this corner. Calls it in. McDonald's going to be the inserter for Bedford, waiting for the referee. Ball straight up to Montagano, top of the circle. Montagano over to Denon. Denon tries to handle it and advance it, gets it. Backhand over to McDonald, tries to deflect. We're going to get another corner call out of that. And Bedford's going to get another chance at this. I think the play broke down a little bit there, Pete.
So this is the fourth corner for Bedford. So they've had a lot of opportunity, both created and corners.
In it comes, up top to Montagano. Montagano tries to get a shot up, just misses it, and it looks like a quick break for Winnacunnet, but Catane is there, and Catane sends the ball back in. Far side of the field, Montagano gives chase. It's going to go out of bounds off of Montagano's stick. Winnacunnet with a free hit. Nicely done by Grace Wolf. Quick stick to knock that ball down. But they're going to claim it hit her foot, and they're going to get a free hit for Winnacunnet going the other way. Big lift by the Winnacunnet defender. Denon gathers it, tries to advance it back up the field. Montagano reaches for it. It's going to be a free hit, Winnacunnet. Amelia McAfee sets up for Winnacunnet, rips one at the 40. Doesn't get all of it. It bounces over the 6 of the Bedford defenders and out the goal line. 2:25 left in the second quarter. Going to be a free hit for Bedford. Should come out to about the 16. So where the ball goes, O'Donnell. O'Donnell surveys the field, looking for someone to get open. Slides the ball over, right intercepted by a Winnacunnet player. But we're going to get a free hit back the other way. Poirier tries to carry it out into traffic, tries to clear the ball, gets intercepted by the Winnacunnet player onto the Winnacunnet stick. Winnacunnet is going to get a corner on that. A little disorganized there on the defensive side of the ball, Pete. Nicely done by Winnacunnet to keep up the pressure, stay right on top of that ball.
It's Winnacunnet's first corner of the game with 2 minutes to go, actually a minute and a half to go.
McAfee's going to insert. Her sister Fiona McAfee, near side of the circle. Waiting on the referee. Referee's giving instructions to the Bedford defenders. Ball inserted, comes out of the circle. O'Donnell gives chase. Oh, it gets through the crowd and hits the post and out. Whew. What a great opportunity for Winnacunnet. Well executed.
Oh, very well executed, and within inches of scoring there.
Bedford dodged a bullet on that one. Catane advances up to McDonald. McDonald to the 35. Tries to come near sideline. Drives it nicely up the field. Up to Eva Picientini, number 10, just checking into the game at forward. And they're going to call a free hit for the Winnacunnet Warriors. McAfee rips one from the 50, knocked down by McDonald. McDonald up to the 45, advances to Davidson. Davidson tries to give it a one-time pass up to Picientini. Picientini gives chase, near side. Picientini into Montagano. Montagano tries to drive it in. And it was a foot call, but time has run out on the Bulldogs on that offensive opportunity. Winnacunnet is starting to come on here, Pete, this quarter. Could see them starting to connect on some of those passes, and the Bedford defense, some miscommunication there on the back end, trying to gather up the ball and clear it.
I think overall Bedford had an excellent first half, right? They've been pressing the Winnacunnet defense. They've had 4 corners. They've had numerous shots. They just got to keep up the attack, and things will go their way. On the flip side, Winnacunnet, you got to expect them. These guys, this team here, 4-1. We've talked about this numerous times. They are champion. Their pedigree is all about championships, right? They've got in the last 13 years, 8 appearances in the finals. of which they've come away with the trophy 5 times. So they're doing exactly what you'd expect them to do, play hard. They're not going to sit back on their heels in the second half, and I expect we'll see further pressing by Winnacunnet in the second half.
Yeah, that first half, I mean, Bedford certainly seemed to carry the offensive play, not dominating by any means, but certainly had the advantage throughout that half. A lot of really nice passing and advancing the ball. Again, through the midfield up to the forwards between Amelia McDonald, Eloise Montagano, Natalie Denon, the return varsity players that once again, just great composure, nice passing, heads up, trying to advance the ball. Unfortunately for the Bulldogs, we're short a couple players today. You wouldn't know it because the girls are playing very well, but junior offensive player Maddie Kiley, who really adds a speed dynamic to the game for the Bedford Bulldogs, isn't able to be here because of the way this all worked out with the schedule being made up after the weather delay. And junior starting goaltender Addie Wolfiger is also out, but replaced by Irene Sy at goal. And Irene is also a very skilled goalkeeper. Irene is certainly up to the task and very, very quick on the ball and a very good player. So, Irene can handle herself in net. And as you saw during that first half, she comes out nicely, cuts down angles, which gives very little scoring, looks for the offensive players. And by her coming out of the net on that last opportunity off the corner, the player tried to go far side, hit the post. And that's a certain nuance that these goaltenders, when they're out and attacking and cutting down angles, it just gives, less for the offensive player to shoot at. So it was nicely played by Irene Sy. Very nicely played.
Yeah, she's solid. Bedford's very fortunate to have two real solid goalkeepers on the squad with Addie and Irene, and she's certainly holding her own here against the Warriors of Winnacunnet.
And Pete, you take a look at overall, the standings and who are the top teams in the state, right? You're looking at Dover, Windham, Exeter, this Winnacunnet team really at the top of the heap. And you look at these Bedford Bulldogs, and they are right in the mix. Here we are at halftime, again, off a top-tier team with a 0-0 score on the board, and they really seem to carry the play. It's very similar to Thursday night against Exeter, another highly skilled top-tier team, and you had a 0-0 score at half, a 1-1 score at the end of the third, and these Bulldogs really are a solid team. I think they can play with absolutely anybody in the state. And you look at the field and the players on the field, there's a lot of young talent out there. This program has just really gotten strong over the last couple of years. Last year was the first time that the Bedford Bulldogs field hockey program made it as far as the quarterfinals. And they had beaten Dover in the regular season, lost to them in the quarterfinals. They very well could have made it to the semis, if not further. So the future is bright up here for the Bedford Bulldogs as the play starts back underway at the start of the third quarter. Play at midfield. Ball goes back and forth between the two teams. McAfee from the 50 starts to advance it. Grace Wolf is there, but they're going to call free hit for Winnacunnet. McAfee for Winnacunnet at the 40. Rips one downfield, far side, right on the stick of her teammate, who's trying to work her way into the shooting circle. But Catane is there. They're going to call an interference on Catane for bumping into the player. Montagano tries to clear it. Lydia Denon throws the ball up to the 50. Bedford gives chase. Denon there again. Slides it up to Davidson. Davidson up the field, across the 30, across the 25. She's looking for help, tries to advance the ball to the center of the field. Unfortunately, wasn't strong enough to get it over and to McDonald, but Denon again pops it forward, and they're going to call a third party on that with two Bedford players playing the ball at the same time. And it's going to be Winnacunnet free hit, drilled up the field again by McAfee, up to the 30. Winnacunnet advances the ball, nicely defended by Montagano with a jab, but they're going to call a free hit for Winnacunnet. McAfee tries to drive it, mishits. Brooke Poirier for Bedford steps up, lays the ball out nicely. Eva Piciantini tries to give chase, does, loses handle on her stick. Oh, that's unfortunate. That would have been a way for Bedford for a 4-on-3 opportunity in the offensive zone. But that's okay. Bedford ball. Denon over to Montagano. Montagano. Ball pops up on her. She tries to gather it. Winnacunnet back the other way. Fiona McAfee tries to get upfield, loses handle. Brooke Poirier's there to scoop it up. Brooke Poirier, far side of the field, comes up to the 40, advancing the ball, comes all the way down to the 30, keeps coming down the sideline. It gets knocked down by the Winnacunnet player, but Montagano's there. Montagano advances up to the 15. Back and forth we go. And the referee is going to call a free hit for Winnacunnet. McAfee with another huge rip. Ooh, right off the arm of senior captain Natalie Denon. Sure that hurt. That had plenty on it. But that's going to be a dangerous hit, so that'll be back Bedford's ball. Denon's trying to shake it off right now. Montagano advances the ball in the center of the field. Ball comes back out to the 50. Catane tries to get it, just mishandles, trying to get it over to O'Donnell. O'Donnell tries to play it away, gets bumped by the Winnacunnet player, but they're going to call an interference on O'Donnell, and it's going to be Winnacunnet's ball. Back up to Frost. Frost tries to advance. O'Donnell steps up, gives her the business, steals the ball from her on the sideline nicely, advances up across the 40, up across the 50, tries to go up. One of the Winnacunnet players falls down, bumping into O'Donnell, and the ball goes back the other way. Lots going on here, the calls, Pete. Bedford, again, trying to gather the ball at about the 50. Denon seems they're shaking off the hit she took from the drive by McAfee. McDonald at the 30, little open field, moves to the right, tries to advance. Winnacunnet defenders bodying her, and she's going to draw the call. Nicely done by McDonald. Gives it back to Denon at about the 20. Denon takes a look. Denon tries to move the ball in. Over to McDonald. McDonald, shooting circle. Turns and shoots. Gets a shot on net. Montagano advances it back into the goal mouth, but it breaks free for Winnacunnet. Then the Winnacunnet defender steps up and clears the ball hard up the field, up to the 50. Brooke Poirier's there for the Bedford Bulldogs. She gathers it. Tries to advance back to the 50. Runs into Fiona McAfee, who steals the ball. The beautiful jab tackle. McAfee up to the 20, tries to advance, loses the ball. Then the referee is going to call a free hit for Winnacunnet from the 20. McAfee pulls it back, moves 5, rips the ball. O'Donnell knocks it down and clears it for Bedford. Davidson tries to advance the ball, just misses it. Montagano comes charging up the field to 40. Tries to get it up the field. Denon slides it down near side of the field. Davidson gives chase. It's about to go out of bounds. It goes out of bounds about the 10. Winnacunnet on the free insert after the out of bounds ball. McAfee rips another one. Knocked down by Lydia Denon beautifully. Tries to advance it across into Piciantini, but that's intercepted by Winnacunnet. McDonald is there. Gets control of the ball. Across the 20. Works near side of the field. Tries to hook around the defenders. Advances the goal line. Just out of bounds. Pete, Bedford's getting a lot of opportunity up the field. They just don't seem to be able to get the scoring opportunities. Once they get into the circle, the offense kind of falls apart a little bit. McAfee with a big rip up the field, goes all the way to the 50. Catane is there. She knocks it down, gives it over to Poirier. Poirier back over to Catane. Catane tries to go sideline, but the Winnacunnet offensive player is there and is able to tackle and win the battle. So she's going to get a free hit for Winnacunnet. Up comes McAfee. McAfee, big rip. Ball comes flying up the field, right over the top of the Bedford defender's stick and out. So ball's going to come back out to the 16. Free hit Bedford. O'Donnell taking a look. Lifts one out to the far side. Over to Grace Wolf, who tries to one-time it. And they're going to call a stick-to-stick there. And the ball's going to come back the other way for Winnacunnet with a free hit. Probably come back up towards the 35. Well, Winnacunnet takes it from the 40. Tries to rip it up. O'Donnell tries to clear it, just hops over her stick. Poirier is there. Winnacunnet gets it. Catane tries to clear. Winnacunnet back on the ball again. Takes a shot. Ooh. High ball. Hits the Bedford Bulldog defender right in the face. We're going to have a referee time on the field. We try and figure out what the next step is here. Looks like Catane is okay, though. She really took that right off the cheek. And play will resume. Brooke Poirier tries to lift it up to McDonald. McDonald knocks it down and hits her body on the way down. It's going to be Winnacunnet ball. Come back the other way from the 30. McAfee. Big rip up the middle of the field into the goal mouth. Winnacunnet gives chase. Denon is there trying to clear the ball out of the shooting circle. Back in, Catane does clear it. Picientini gives chase up the far side of the field at the 30, at the 40, at the 50. Advances the ball nicely to Davidson. Davidson down the right side. Tries to advance in the shooting circle to get to Lydia Denon, but just not in time. Can't connect. And ball cleared by Winnacunnet. Natalie Denon for Bedford. Tries to insert, goes to back pass. Intercepted by Frost for Winnacunnet. She gives chase. Advances it. Grace Wolf is there to knock it down. Montagano to gather it. Tries to advance the ball up. Not a lot connecting right now, Pete.
No, on either side.
On the 35. Far side of the field. Ball comes up. Hits the player. Defender in the leg, and they're going to give a free hit to Winnacunnet. McAfee from the 20. Weaves in and out. Slides it down the sideline nicely to her teammate up the left side of the field, and she loses control, goes out of bounds. It's going to be a free hit for Bedford coming back at the 40. Catane nicely passed up to Montagano. Montagano, nice little move up the field, over to Denon. Denon tries to go right sideline. Intercepted by the Winnacunnet defender. Ball comes back up to the midfield. Winnacunnet advances the ball up. That's going to roll all the way down the field. The goalie is dangerously letting that ball go. I think Cy thought that ball was going to make it all the way out, and because it was shot from outside the shooter circle, that ball could have been in the net and it wouldn't have counted. However, the ball didn't have enough steam on it, and it resulted in an offensive chance for Winnacunnet.
It certainly did.
A little scary moment there.
That was, held my breath for 3 seconds there.
From the 16, Catane for Bedford. Tries a slide out to the right, gets knocked down by the Winnacunnet defender. And out the side of the field. It's going to be Bedford ball on the inbound. Denon to Montagano. Montagano nicely stick handles through 2 defenders. A third defender comes across the 50. Advances to Davidson. Davidson scoops it up. Tries to come down the near side of the field. Winnacunnet defender's there. Knocks it out. That looked to me like it went off the Winnacunnet player's stick, but they're going to give a free hit. McAfee tries to advance it. Eloise Montagano goes back the other way with it. McAfee scoops that back up and tries to go the other way. And right off the foot of Grace Wolf, it's going to be a foot call. Winnacunnet's going to get a free hit. Amelia McAfee, number 19 for Winnacunnet, has certainly put in a lot of work today, excuse me. Rips another one. Ball bounces up. They're going to call a dangerous ball, so it's going to come back the other way for Bedford. O'Donnell picks it up, brings it up to about the 40, sets, takes a look, trying to find an opening. Tries to lift it beautifully, does about 25 yards downfield to Davidson, and Davidson just out of her reach and out of bounds. Winnacunnet Warriors on the insert. They go back out to the middle of the field. Eva Pisciantini's there for Bedford. She advances, pushes it far side of the field, tries to get it to Denon, but it's going to go out of bounds. Winnacunnet on the insert. They go up the far side of the field. They get all the way up to the 30. Players give chase. Looks like the Winnacunnet offensive player comes away with it, trying to get into the circle, but Brooke Poirier is there for the Bulldogs, spins and turns around, clears the ball nicely. Once again, steady Brooke Poirier out there on the field. Can always seem to count on her with the speed and handling the ball. She brings it in, tries to go up the sideline, into traffic, off a Winnacunnet stick. Again, Bulldog free ball. Denon. Denon goes back to Poirier. Poirier looks up, tries to give and go, off a Winnacunnet player. Now Poirier tries to carry it. Denon has on the sideline, gets intercepted. Ball comes back around. It's going to be a Winnacunnet free ball from the 30, free hit, excuse me. McAfee slides up. McAfee rips one into the shooting circle. Ball bounces around. Catane tries to gather it. Winnacunnet player on her stick. And they're going to earn themselves a corner.
Oh, 2.5 minutes left in the third quarter here, and I'll tell you, it's a nail biter.
Certainly back and forth. Not a lot of fluidity to the game. Girls just aren't connecting, with the passes the way they typically do on both sides of the ball, but certainly great effort. Ball at the top of the shooting circle. Bounce off McAfee's. O'Donnell is there to clear it for the Bulldogs and does out to the 40. Nicely defended. You never know with a corner. They're great scoring opportunities, so anytime you can defend it appropriately, it's a big victory. Ball at about midfield. McAfee tries to rip one up the field. O'Donnell comes up, steps up for Bedford to play. Tries to play it. Referee gives a call to Winnacunnet. Montagano sticks the stick out and steals the ball back, but McAfee with a big drive into the shooter circle. Winnacunnet player on the ball. Catane's there trying to hold her ground. It advances the ball out to the sideline. Nicely defended by Mia Catane. That was a 2-on-1, Pete. All they had to do was pop the ball away from Catane, and they were going to have an easy shot on net, but she stood firm and did a great job getting that ball out of there. McAfee from the sideline for Winnacunnet. Comes up to the 10, tries to cross it, does. Poirier there for Bedford, tries to advance it, gets it out of the shooter circle. Ball bounces back and forth between the two teams, pops up to about the 25, back into the shooting circle, and hits the leg of a Winnacunnet player or foot, and we're going to have a Bedford free hit. Catane for Bedford. Tries to advance it up, gets it to Montagano. Montagano beautifully collects it. McDonald at midfield, stick handling nicely through three defenders, pops the ball up the field, and the Winnacunnet defender steps up. Grace Wolf, one-time pass trying to advance the ball, but they're going to call it free hit. Winnacunnet the other way. McAfee drives it upfield. Winnacunnet advances across the 30. Oh, referee slows him down. They wanted him to reset before they had that free hit. Ball comes back to the 30. Brooke Poirier collects it, and that's the end of the third.
Well, I'll tell you, for Bedford, three names come to mind for that quarter, and that's Catane, O'Donnell, and Poirier, right? Defense. They've kept the ball out of the net. There's been plenty of opportunities for the Warriors, and I think if we had a count on every time you said Poirier, it would be dozens this game. She's keeping us in the game with her defense, along with O'Donnell and Catane. So, yeah, we got one more quarter to go. We're still at 0-0. And to your point, yeah, a little disjointed there in the third quarter.
It is, and not to take away from these players, this cannot be easy with these gusting winds. I think we were able to dodge a, worst case scenario, thank goodness, but certainly, probably difficult playing in these swirling winds. Trying to be able to control and carry the ball appropriately up the field, and get your head up and pass it and those type of things when you're trying to keep an eye on the ball and make sure that it's staying on your stick. So both sides, again, this could go either way, Pete. I hate to see any type of, fluky type goal, because these two teams have really battled it out. It's been a nice game. Very, very evenly matched. It seems like Winnacunnet's doing a better job at clearing the ball out of their zone and advancing it upfield for scoring opportunities. But then again, the Bulldogs are doing a really good job at midfield trying to advance the ball, make those give-and-go passes, and they seem to be getting up into the top of the shooting circle, but just not getting that ball down low. And there's really not a lot of opportunity once they get up there. There might only be one or two Bedford players open instead of, 3 or 4 coming in. So we'll see how this fourth quarter plays out. 15 minutes left on the clock. This is certainly a battle. And it's a very important game for both teams. For Winnacunnet, they take this win. It kind of, solidifies them at the top of the heap in the state. But on the other side of that coin, if Bedford pulls this out, it shows once again, their resiliency and actually puts them back in the conversation as one of the top tier teams.
No question. You hold Winnacunnet to 0 goals through 3 periods. There's something to be said for that. Winnacunnet right now is averaging has 10 goals, 5 against. They're averaging what is that real quick? About 3 goals per game, I think. Their goals against, though, very stingy. 3 of those 5 came from the game last night, which they lost to Pinkerton.
So here we go. Start of the fourth. Montagano for Bedford at midfield. Tries to find some open space. Nicely carries the ball, the opening. Advances to the near side of the field. Tries to hit a pass with Grace Wolf. And right off the top of Grace Wolf's stick, just wasn't able to corral it. Free hit Winnacunnet. On the inbound, McAfee rips it. Knocked down beautifully by Eloise Montagano. That ball had some heat on it. Montagano tries to work that left sideline, one-handed. And nicely defended by McAfee to push her out. Boy, she's all over the field, Pete. Strong, strong player. She's involved in every aspect of the play. Tries to advance the ball up. Ball out of bounds, be a Bedford free insert. Slides it over. Wolf over to Denon. Denon tries to get around the Winnacunnet defender, but a nice block tackle. Up to Frost. Frost comes across the 50. Slides it out to her teammate. Slides it back to Frost. Frost tries to be, then Burke Poirier comes up. And Poirier's there to make a nice defensive play. Tip taps on the sideline. Comes across. Ends up advancing it up to Eloise Montagano. Montagano tries to pop the ball up, but just can't get it to get up in the air. But she's going to get the benefit of the call from the referee. So that'll be a Bedford free hit from, it should be about the 45. O'Donnell carries it up and sets it down, takes a look. O'Donnell tries to advance it, but stumbles, and then does advance it. Grace Wolf in the center of the field, unfortunately not connecting with anybody. And Frost comes back the other way over to Fiona McAfee. McAfee nicely stick handles, one hand, outside, inside, is able to draw a call for a free hit. Players battle for it on the far side of the field. Denon's there. Denon trying to defend. Ball comes back out, tries to get cleared by Catane, and ends up bouncing around. I think it was a foot call. Going to get a corner.
Yep, in the scorer's circle. So there'll be a corner for the Warriors. They've each had 4 now.
Big scoring opportunity right now, or I should say offensive opportunity. 12:20 left on the clock. McAfee gets ready to insert. Bulldogs are trying to get set, get their protective equipment on, figure out the play. Looks like O'Donnell's going to fly. Comes running out. Up to Frost. Frost gets a hold of it. Shot towards the net, in the goal mouth. Cy gives chase. Kicks one away. Catane gathers it. And that's a good news, bad news situation, Pete. Another corner for Winnacunnet. However, Bulldogs were able to keep it out of the net. Once again, Bedford defenders get set. McAfee on the insert. Up to Frost. Frost gets it outside the shooter's circle, tries to advance it. O'Donnell's there, knocks it down, slows the play down, and catches her on the foot. And the ball's going to come out, should come out to the 25 or the 20. Yep. And it's going to be Winnacunnet's ball. McAfee drives it back into the circle. Fiona McAfee knocks it out of the air. McDonald beautifully gathers it in with a spin move and gets it out of harm's way for the Bulldogs. That's going to be a free hit for the Bulldogs. Montagano slides up. She pushes it back. Looking for a Bedford teammate to take the free hit. McStow's giving instruction to her players on the field. Denon over to Catane. Catane, far side of the field, tries to advance it up the far side. Gets knocked down by Winnacunnet. Fiona McAfee gives chase. Big collision between her and Brooke Poirier from Bedford. And it's going to be a free hit for Bedford. Just under 10:30 left in the fourth quarter here at Bedford High School. Back and forth game between the Winnacunnet Warriors and the Bedford Bulldogs. Catane tries to go up the right side of the field, gets through. Ball up the field, passed by Ella O'Keefe, who's checked into the game. Nice spin move, advances back up to Davidson. Davidson gives chase, tries to knock it up the field. Defended there nicely by Winnacunnet. Ella O'Keefe again tries to advance the ball. They're going to call third party for 2 Bedford players getting involved in the play at the same time. Winnacunnet rips it up to the 50. They're advancing the ball. Up across the 20 is Fiona McAfee, number 23. Tries to get in the shooting circle. Brooke Poirier is there. The wind's really picked up now, Pete. It's got to be difficult for the players in the field. Referee whistle. And they're going to call a free hit for Winnacunnet. McAfee goes 5 yards, spins around 2 Bedford defenders. Montagano tries to reach across, but they're going to call it again. McAfee, nice insert off the backhand, but it gets knocked down. It's going to be a free hit for Bedford. Catane quickly up the field. Out to Denon. Denon comes down the right side. Tries to advance it hard. Knocked down by the Winnacunnet player at 30. Advances it back up the field. That looks like it'll roll out of bounds. And it'll be another Bedford free hit. A lot of back and forth, Pete. They just don't seem to be able to connect here. Catane. Montagano tries to clear. McDonald gives chase. Montagano back in the mix. Slides it upfield. Ella O'Keefe nicely passed over to McDonald. McDonald 3-on-3. Hopefully 3-on-4. She hurries. Tries to go far side of the field. Trying to hook around the defender. Goes to insert off the defender's foot. Going to be a free hit for Bedford. She slides it back to Denon. Denon from the 20. Denon advances the ball. Montagano tries to one-time it over to O'Donnell. And it just doesn't make it in time. I think they end up calling a free hit. for Winnacunnet. Advances the ball way up the field. Once again, McAfee with a big drive. Catane nicely struck ball up the far sideline. Denon gives chase at the 50. Winnacunnet players nicely stick handles through the Bedford defenders. Fiona McAfee tries to advance the ball, does to her teammate, Storm, in the middle of the field, right in the goal mouth. Bedford defenders are there. Grace Wolf tries to clear, goes the opposite side, doesn't quite get it out. Fiona McAfee with a drive. Brooke Poirier reaches for the ball. Storm again advances the ball. Cy kicks it out. Scramble in front, right in the goal mouth. Cy again with a big kick. Grace Wolf tries to clear. It's going to be a foot call against Winnacunnet. The Bulldogs scrambled, and they were able to dodge another bullet there, Pete.
Cy is fearless. She just came right out of that net.
Very aggressive,
kicked it away.
Very confident young goaltender. Ball back over to Poirier. Poirier tries to work the sideline. Nothing happening there. Winnacunnet players are there. They get back in the shooting circle. O'Donnell with a beautiful tackle is able to clear the ball out, advance it up to the 25, far sideline, has advantage up to the 40, continues to bring the ball up the field. Ball went off a Winnacunnet's stick. I'm not sure why the ball is going back the other way. McAfee with a big rip. Now, they're going to call a free hit for the Warriors from about the 25. McAfee, another big rip into the shooting circle. Ball almost got all the way through. It certainly made it all the way to the Bedford goaltender. Lydia Denon gives chase for Bedford. Full speed trying to get around the defender. The defender bodies her so she gets a free ball. McDonald in traffic. Winnacunnet defender and her collide at midfield. And McAfee sends it back the other way. Brooke Poirier's there to knock it down. At the 50. Poirier advances the ball up to the 40. Poirier with speed. Continues down the far side of the field across the 20. Nicely over to Ella O'Keefe. Ella O'Keefe into the shooter circle. Davidson, with a quick redirect. And just far left of the goalie, just wide. That's the first goal scoring opportunity for the Bedford Bulldogs in quite some time. 5:30 left on the clock. Once again, this swirling wind keeps coming in gusts. It's got to be very distracting to these players. Ball almost cleared. Back in the shooter circle. Davidson reaches for it, but the Winnacunnet defender gets it out. Grace Wolf to Montagano. Montagano back into the shooter circle. Hits the leg of a Winnacunnet player, and we're going to get a corner call from the referees for the Bedford Bulldogs.
Nice little spark there with the Bedford offense in the last couple of minutes, and it paid off with a corner here.
Yeah, McStowe calls the play into the players. Amelia McDonald goes to the goal line. She'll be inserting. Grace Wolf near side of the shooter circle. Natalie Denon, senior captain. And Eloise Montagano, top of the shooter circle. McDonald sets. Inserts to Montagano. Montagano knocks it down, slides it over to Denon. Denon advances to the net, into McDonald. McDonald tries to advance it into the net. It just can't get all of it. It pops out of bounds on the left side of the net. That was a good opportunity for Bedford. And once again, Winnacunnet with the big hit, drives it all the way back down the field. Catane there. Catane nicely defends and slides it back up to about the 50, but out of bounds. Boy, they get up the field quickly, don't they, Pete, with those big hits?
They sure do. It's that big hit that's a real advantage for Winnacunnet.
Big hit by McAfee again. Catane's there. Catane to McDonald at the 40. Smartly looks for open field. Beautifully off the backhand, up across the 50. One-handed nicely up the sideline. Continue to advance and gain territory. Winnacunnet defender steps up, knocks it down, gets to her teammate. O'Donnell's there, pokes it free from the 45. O'Donnell up to 35, drives the ball up the field. And they're going to draw a free hit for Bedford. Montagano into the circle. Quick shot by Davidson off a one-timer. Beautiful play. That's turning defense into offense. Bedford goal. Bulldogs score 1-0. 3 minutes and 22 seconds left in this fourth quarter. What a play. O'Donnell steps up, knocks it down after a beautiful carry by McDonald in open field to gain territory and advantage for Bedford. O'Donnell knocks it up to Montagano. Montagano in the circle, and Davidson on the turnaround, one-timer, buries it in the back of the net. 1-0. Bedford advantage.
That play was Tegan O'Donnell's. Let me tell you, the way she took that ball and got it back into the offensive zone, made it happen.
McAfee from the 35 rips it into the midfield. Brooke Poirier's there for Bedford. Tries to clear. Tries to advance the ball. Does. Gets it out to the far sideline. Denon gives chase. Beautifully played by Denon. Up the field to Ella O'Keefe. O'Keefe across the 50. Inside out move smartly back to Denon. Denon steps up over to Montagano. Well, that was a good call by the referee right there, Pete. The referee didn't feel that the pass was made far enough, so third party, looks like two players playing the same ball, I believe was the call. I apologize if I'm wrong on that, but that's going to be a free hit for Winnacunnet. We're just at the 2-minute mark. Let's see if the Bulldogs can hang on. Ella O'Keefe, sophomore, down the right side of the field, across the 35, smartly into midfield, tries to get it to Lydia Denon. Also a sophomore. Denon advances near side of the field. Grace Wolf at the 20. Grace Wolf tries to get in the shooting circle. Just can't connect with Davidson. Montagano knocks it down. Advances. Tries again to get it to Davidson, and Davidson just can't handle knocking the ball out of the air that time. But again, another beautiful play by the Bedford Bulldogs. Eloise Montagano, once again, smart, offensive-minded player, just always making the right play all over the field, both sides of the ball, defensive and offensive. Just an incredible field hockey player, great athlete. Bulldogs are lucky to have her out there. 1:15 on the clock. Referee stops the play. Talking to the coach on the sideline. Not sure what the call is right now, but it looks like it's going to be a free hit for the Bulldogs from about the 17. Catane tries to lift it, can't get it up. Winnacunnet knocks it down. Montagano is there, chops at it, tries to advance it up the sideline. Back and forth, she's going to get the benefit of the call. Nice ball out to McDonald. McDonald to midfield. Tries to get it back. Nothing going. The Winnacunnet offensive player gave good chase. Montagano tries to advance, ends up losing the handle off a stick-to-stick contact. It's going to be a Bedford ball. 45 seconds left. Montagano advanced up the 40. Denon's there. Controls a bouncing ball. Up to Ella O'Keefe. Ella O'Keefe at the 40. Tries to make a connect with Davidson, but it doesn't get through. Winnacunnet is there. McAfee, big drive up the field. Brooke Poirier steps up. Beautifully played and defended. Comes across the 40 to the open field. Controls the ball across the 50. Tries to weave through the Winnacunnet defenders, but they intercept. O'Donnell there, knocks it back the other way. Poirier, back on. Across the far side of the field. O'Keefe to the 30. O'Keefe, nice outside-in move. Great stick handling. Tries to advance it in to McDonald. McDonald gathers it nicely, and time will run out on the clock. That is a 1-0 victory for the Bedford Bulldogs over the Winnacunnet Warriors.
That was a battle royale. Just wonderful to see. Certainly the last 8 minutes. Just the Bedford offense came alive. They kept pressing, and you take enough shots and you press hard enough, eventually that ball goes in, and it did for them.
It certainly did. Both these teams played a heck of a game under these really windy conditions. Getting this game onto the schedule so late, and a couple of the Bedford players not being able to make it. I don't know if some of the Winnacunnet players weren't able to be here, but incredible effort by Irene Sy in goal for the Bedford Bulldogs. Once again, both sides, both teams, some really skilled players, great field hockey game. Excellent game from both teams.
I think
Bedford gets to come out on top.
I agree, and you said it earlier in the game, and that is Bedford has proven themselves to be worthy of some of the top teams, perennial top teams in Division One. They've pulled off a hard-fought victory against Winnacunnet over 2 days, over two different games. So,
yeah, they
great
certainly
for the
put
Bulldogs.
themselves in the conversation, and they're certainly giving a challenge to the top-tier teams in the state. That's for sure.
Yes, indeed. Well, that was. We're going to be back here 7:30 p.m. against Merrimack here at home. That's the next game. That's Monday, 9/18, 7:30 p.m. BCTV will be broadcasting live for this game. You've been watching BCTV live streaming today. It'll also be available on demand. Big thanks to Andrew Fenn, Bill Jennings, Colleen Richardson at the TV station for broadcasting girls field hockey. I think for now. Oh, and we do have a PA announcement we'd like to share with those watching. The Bedford Bulldog Athletic Booster Club would like to thank the generous platinum sponsors: Spectrum Marketing, Bedford Village Inn, BEI Network, London Orthodontics, Restore Hyper Wellness, Wicked Good Butcher, and Looney Insurance. A special thank you to our gold sponsors: Realty One, Ethan Allen, Granite State Cabinetry, and Liberty Hill Construction. On behalf of the 461 student athletes this season, thank you for your support. If anyone is interested in becoming a corporate sponsor or becoming an individual member, please grab a form at the concession stand or visit us online at bbabc.net. For Scott O'Donnell and Pete MacDonald, we are done here today. Final score: Bedford Bulldogs 1, Winnacunnet 0. We'll see you again on Monday, 9/18, 7:30 p.m. for a matchup against Merrimack. Have a great day.